Good evening and welcome to Nationwide. I'm Najat Tijani with the news. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has described as appropriate, timely and very instructive steps taken so far by the federal government in responding to the xenophobic attacks against Nigerians in South Africa. Speaking to newsmen after a closed-door engagement with President Muhammadu Buhari on critical national issues, Speaker Gbajabiamila expressed the belief that the government's proactive undertakings clearly sent the right signals to South Africa.
The hope of reconvening the House so that we can address this very important issue. We have called that off. Because events have overtaken that, the government has taken very proactive steps, the same steps we would have asked for, and we're all on the same page with the president and the government.
Are there moves to cut bilateral ties in South Africa considering what is happening?
We're not there yet. Nothing is off the table. Nothing is off the table. We'll take each day as it comes. As of now, the president has taken proactive steps in evacuating our citizens. Other things will follow. I believe we're going to stand with Nigerians and by Nigerians, and that's our priority is to protect and the Constitution is to protect the welfare of the citizens, and that's exactly what we're doing, and that's exactly what the president is doing.
State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the enhanced relations between the executive and the legislative, as well as preparations for the 2020 appropriations bill, were also discussed by the nation's first and fourth citizens.
It used to be January to December, and the only way to do that is for an early presentation of the budget, and we'll discuss that. And the recent $9 billion award against Nigeria, we discussed that as well. And clearly, we're in opposition to that, and steps will be taken.
So are we likely to see the budget go into National Assembly this month?
I cannot give you a definite, but I know that the budget is going to come as early as possible. It may be the end of this month, maybe shortly thereafter. I cannot give you an exact date, but it's going to be an early presentation so that we can pass the budget before the end of the year and return to the cycle of January to December.
And still on the matter, Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila says the National Assembly will not hesitate to authorize legal funding for Nigerian citizens who wish to take legal action against identified perpetrators and sponsors of the dastardly act against them in South Africa. Speaker Gbajabiamila at a media conference in Abuja also expressed the displeasure of the National Assembly over the xenophobic attacks on Nigerian nationals in that country. Kenneth Nanim reports.
The people and government of Nigeria have condemned in strong terms the xenophobic attacks on Nigerians residing in South Africa. Now, Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila puts in perspective various socio-political roles played by Nigeria towards freedom and peaceful building for economic development in the African continent, including South Africa. Therefore, the ill-treatment meted to Nigerians in that country is uncalled for.
We intend not only to determine the causes of these latest events, but also to assess and account for the losses in life and property that have occurred. This will allow the government to more accurately demand reparations to compensate our citizens who suffered in this recent orgy of violence.
Commending efforts by the federal government so far in dealing with the situation and the displeasure expressed by Nigerians at home, the Speaker urged Nigerians to continue to be patriotic and law-abiding.
We will achieve nothing by destroying businesses that employ our people and provide a living for our families. We will honor the lives of our fallen brothers by making sure that never again will our citizens' inalienable right to life and liberty be so wantonly denied here at home or anywhere else in the world.
The Speaker also urged Nigerians to unite and join hands with the government towards solving issues of insecurity and other challenges being faced by the country. Kenneth Nanim.
We apologize for the slight glitch in that report. Meanwhile, the Nigerian government will be demanding legal compensation against a report which says nothing provides for the South African government to pay compensation to victims of xenophobic attacks. This was the reaction of the Foreign Affairs Minister, Geoffrey Onyeama, after a meeting with the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs at the National Assembly. ABDULLAHI Aminu was there.
It was a closed-door meeting on the possible actions to be taken by the Nigerian government on the lingering issue. The minister said Nigeria is not satisfied with South African government's resort to either engage the service of insurance companies or make private arrangements for compensation.
With the distinguished senators, we were looking at some of the options that we have to ensure that this will be the last time that we will ever be meeting to be talking about Nigerians attacked in South Africa and to take definitive measures. But we want to do that and start doing that once we have all the facts available.
On the diplomatic ties between the two countries, the minister said Nigeria has not reached a stage where it will break diplomatic relations with South Africa.
There are different actions that can be taken at the diplomatic level without necessarily breaking off diplomatic ties. But we want our decision and Mr. President's decision to be an informed decision based after assessing all the facts.
We appeal to the Nigerians to remain calm. So far from the briefing that we have been given, we believe that the Nigerian government and the executive level are doing pretty much to ensure that the suffering of our people is alleviated, that we find a lasting solution to the problem.
The meeting has resolved not to make the entire possible options public pending the final report from the Nigerian High Commission in South Africa, which is engaging Nigerian Union in South Africa. From the National Assembly, ABDULLAHI Aminu, NTA News.
Moving on to electoral matters now, conduct of party primaries ahead of the governorship elections in Bayelsa and Kogi states ended Thursday, the 5th of September. The next step is the submission of candidates. With just 72 days to go, let's join Mie Ogidi on the latest development concerning the race to Lord Lugard House in Lokoja and that of Creek Haven in Yenagoa.
It is another busy day at the INEC headquarters, but my interest is the media center where both human and material resources have been deployed to receive candidates from the 59 political parties in Kogi and 58 in Bayelsa State that have indicated interest to participate in the forthcoming governorship elections, as the party primaries ended midnight Thursday, 5th of September 2019.
And there won't be any form of extension whatsoever.
Waiting rooms for the representatives of the political parties to take a second look at their documents before submission is set. And the image maker of INEC, Festus Okoye, is of the opinion that the umpire, that is INEC, is on a positive terrain for the exercise.
All the states have received the non-sensitive materials required for the conduct of the elections.
Democratic People's Party, DPP, and Hope Democratic Party, HDP, are the first two political parties to engage INEC for the submission of candidates.
What we have not done is that to bring all our documents in three copies only.
So we are not going to receive any nomination that the party use TPEX to either clean up or TPEX the name of any individual.
The call, therefore, is on the political parties to submit their candidates early to avoid unnecessary pressure on the staff and also to avoid mistakes that may later become legal issues. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress has commenced engagement with stakeholders in Kogi State to ensure the party's victory in the November 16 governorship election. The party's National Working Committee in Abuja granted audience to all aspirants who participated before and during the August 29 governorship primary in Kogi State. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
Addressing journalists at the end of the meeting held behind closed doors, National Chairman of APC Adams Oshomole says, in any contest, there can only be one winner, and in the case of Kogi APC primary contest, the patriotic commitment of all aspirants during the post-primary engagement with them indicates their determination to work in the interest of the APC. He assured that the party will always carry out its affairs in line with its principle of open dialogue with members at all levels.
As believers, notwithstanding whatever reservation any of them will have, they are not about to go to court to prolong issues arising from primaries, etc. Going forward, and having taken note of some of these very valuable suggestions that they have made and shared with us, that all of those will be taken into account.
The incumbent governor and the party's candidate Yahya Bello has assured continuity in governance and more dividends of democracy to the people of Kogi State if re-elected.
I'm happy to tell you that all my brothers and sisters have all agreed to queue behind me and help me in the forthcoming election that will come up on November 16th.
Meanwhile, the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress has named 3-member appeal committees for the party's recently conducted primaries for the Kogi and Bayelsa governorship elections. In a statement by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Lanre Issa Onilu, stated that Kogi Indirect Primary Appeal Committee has Senator ABDULLAHI Umar Yandoma as chairman, while the Bayelsa Direct Primary Appeal Committee has Barrister Shuaibu Arua as chairman. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And on to tech matters now. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says more young people are leveraging on opportunities in agriculture through the use of digital technology, which is changing the face of the sector in Nigeria and Africa. Professor Osinbajo stated this during the presidential panel discussion session of the African Green Revolution Forum at the International Conference Center, Accra, Ghana, with the theme Grow Digital, leveraging digital transformation to drive sustainable food systems in Africa. The Vice President noted that several technology companies are already in the agricultural space and that one of the advantages of technology is collaboration, which is a major feature of digital technology. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said Nigeria has a huge mobile internet participation as many Nigerians from the very educated to the uneducated access the internet on their mobile phones. And following the activities of Boko Haram insurgents in the northeastern parts of the country, which has forced a lot of people to flee their homes and seek refuge in neighboring countries, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Saidia Umar Farouk, paid a visit to Niger Republic to synergize and share ideas on ways of tackling humanitarian crises in Nigeria and within the sub-region. Ruth Aguele reports.
Hassan and Husseini are the names used in describing Nigeria and the Niger Republic. This is not unconnected to the similarities both countries share. But not all are on a pleasant note, as both countries are dealing with serious issues of humanitarian crisis. This visit to Niamey in the Niger Republic by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Saidia Umar Farouk, is very timely, as this is to spur ways to identify areas of collaborating with the Ministry of Humanitarian Action and Disaster Management in the Niger Republic, as the federal government is putting in place adequate measures for the return of Nigerian refugees back home.
We feel that we have a similar ministry in Nigeria, and since Niger has been operating this kind of ministry, we felt we should come because of our peculiarities, our common cultures, that we should come and look at the model and see what we can go home with.
A strategic roadmap on priority areas and identification of coordination of mechanisms that are already being implemented in the ministry was presented to the minister.
Et c'est dans ce cadre-là que Madame la ministre de l'action humanitaire.
Acknowledging the minister's visit, the Minister of Humanitarian Action and Disaster Management, Lawan Magagi, says the coming together of both ministries will help share ideas and experiences and pave way for a better future between both countries. The minister also paid a courtesy visit to the Prime Minister of Niger Republic, Briggy Rafini, where a meeting was held behind closed doors.
You know, the purpose of the meeting is really to come and bring greetings and good wishes from our President Muhammad Buhari, to the government and people of Niger for their support and their assistance they've been giving to our refugees that are here in Niger for the past couple of years.
The synergy extended to other ministries that will play a critical role in solving the menace, like the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Interior. It is the belief here that these ties will help create a strong framework for a rapid response to ending migrant challenges. From Niamey, Niger Republic, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Nationwide. There will be more reports after these messages.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
The Federal Ministry of Health cordially invites the public to the 62nd National Council on Health meeting with the theme Consolidating the Journey towards Achieving Universal Health Coverage. Date 9th to 13th September 2019. Venue, the Event Center, opposite Federal Secretariat, Asaba, Delta State. Participants are to register online via nch.fmohconnect.gov.ng/public registration. A.M. Abdullahi, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Health, announcer.
It is here again. The NTA ETV Annual Expo is here again. This time, it is the 13th edition. 2019 has as its theme, promoting unity and innovations in youths as agents of change through science and arts. It promises to be captivating as youths across the nation showcase their unique skills and innovations in science and arts, make new friends, and showcase their rich cultural heritage. Join us at the NTA Headquarters Arena Area 11, Garki, Abuja from Sunday 28th October to Thursday 24th October 2019. For more information, participation, and sponsorship, please call these numbers. NTA ETV, promoting learning.
Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first. Get it fresh.
Thanks for staying with NTA Nationwide. Nigeria prisons are now to have a creche for inmates who are nursing mothers along with their children, while certificates will be awarded to offenders after completion of term to avoid stigmatization. These are some of the benefits reeled out by the Controller General of Corrections, Jafaru Ahmed, as benefits of the new Nigerian Correctional Service. Victor Azu reports that the Minister of Interior also pledged to digitize the service.
It's a first media briefing for the Controller General since the Nigerian Correctional Service Bill was signed into law July 31st. State controllers of the service are also in attendance. Done with the opening formalities, the corrections boss, Jafaru Ahmed, basically unveils the new correctional service in two broad parts: the custodial and non-custodial service. It's not just a name change. The new service not only keeps offenders, it assumes a reformative role under the non-custodial function. The service now takes care of the welfare of inmates, dealing with issues of overcrowding, long stay on the death row, and awaiting trial, as well as the challenge of stigmatization.
Subsection 5 has addressed the age-long challenge of stigmatization as trained offenders who demonstrate high level of penance can now be issued a certificate by the chairman of the board or recommendation of the Controller General. This enables him to engage and compete for social recognition without toga of ex-convict.
Soon after, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, arrives to flag off the interactive conference of senior officers. It turns out a motivational speech for the task ahead.
We will digitize your service, and it will cover virtually everything, from record keeping to safety of prisons, protection of inmates and officers, and general administration of the facility and service.
The prospect of the new service is mouth-watering, and with the commitment of the minister to provide the needed support, better days are here not only for the inmates, but also personnel of the Nigerian Correctional Service. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
And now we'll join our Lagos Network Center for more reports. Jennifer Igwe is standing by. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you, Najatu, and welcome to Lagos. A suspect arrested by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for an illegal ingestion of illicit drug substance has excreted 79 wraps of methamphetamine after thorough medical examination. Commander NDLEA Muritala Mohammed International Airport Command Amadou Garba, at an exclusive interview, said the last wrap was extracted through an operation. Abolade Salami tells us more.
4-year-old Kwasi Paul, also known as Eze Ikechukwu, on the 10th of June 2019, arrived the Muritala Mohammed International Airport to join an Ethiopia airline flight to Jakarta, Indonesia, but was apprehended at the clearance point for an illegal ingestion of drug substance in his stomach. The suspect, after cross-examination and medical checks, excreted 79 wraps of the substance.
If not that commander insisted and took me to hospital, I wouldn't be alive by now. So one, I don't advise anybody to put it into his mouth again.
While giving further insight that led to the arrest of the suspect, Commander NDLEA Muritala Mohammed International Airport Command Amadou Garba explained that the act of professionalism exhibited by the officers and upgrade of airport facilities assisted in his arrest.
Well, when his statement was taken, he confessed to have swallowed 80 wraps, what we call pellets of illicit substances. So he excreted 79. And when he excreted 79, that means by implication there is one that is there. Thereafter, the team suggested that they should do a surgical operation. The procedure was done, and he was operated upon, and they extracted that one wrap of methamphetamine.
From January to August 2019, the command has seized drug substance weighing 260.2 kilograms with 64 total number of suspects. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Now, in a bid to address the housing deficit in Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has inaugurated a 492-flat housing estate in Igondo, named after former governor of the state, Lateef Jakonde. Nosa Usula has details.
Nigeria's housing deficit is said to be about 18 million units, while Lagos, with its population of over 20 million, is no stranger to this challenge in the country, as the state is estimated to require about 3 million housing units to resolve its growing housing deficit. The project commenced in 2012 under the home ownership scheme of the administration of former Governor Babatunde Fashola to tackle the challenges of housing deficit in the state. The governor stated that his administration's move to complete the project was a testimony to his campaign pledge to complete and deliver all critical projects inherited from his predecessor.
For us to achieve the vision of building a 21st century economy, which is part of our project team's economic initiative, we need to explore innovative way that would include our private sector participation.
The state's commissioner for housing assured residents that government would deliver additional 1,250 homes in different parts of the state within the next 6 months. The event was attended by former governor of the state, Lateef Jakonde, his wife, traditional rulers, and leaders of the All Progressives Congress. In Lagos, Nosa Usula, NTA News.
And on health, HIV is no longer a death sentence, as drugs and various preventive measures are now available at different healthcare facilities in Lagos. Chief Executive Officer, Lagos State AIDS Control Agency, Dr. Oluseyi Temowo, stated this at a medical screening to mark Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu 100 days in office. Diana Ajale reports.
Recent statistics by the UNAIDS and National Agency for Control of AIDS estimates that 1.9 million people are currently living with HIV/AIDS in Nigeria. Although the nation has made progress in scaling up HIV treatment and prevention services, many people still lack needed awareness on their status. This is why the Lagos State government is unrelentless in its campaigns against the disease.
So the roadmap is for us to ensure that 90% of people that are positive in Lagos must be identified by year 2020.
So HIV can be prevented when you actually try to stay away from contaminated HIV-infected blood by not touching human blood with bare hands.
This event marks a special day for 58-year-old Rahim Ajibike and 55-year-old Taiwo Folahon, who were able to check their HIV status for the first time.
And they said I'm free. So I thank God I'm free.
Tests we did for BP, then sugar level, and then HIV, which is very good.
The Lagos State government took its HIV intervention program, which include free screening to Adeneji and Itafaji communities on the Lagos Island. Like Rahim and Taiwo, many turned out to take advantage of the opportunity.
Very welcomed project.
This HIV intervention program by the Lagos State is part of activity marking the 100 days in office of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and will continue in other parts of the Lagos metropolis. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues after this commercial break.
Studio equipment is a critical aspect of modern television that requires special skills for their operation and maintenance. These skills define the content and output of television and are acquired only through professional training and experience. NTA TV College JOS is organizing a special 4-week intensive course on digital studio equipment maintenance for engineers and technical officers in public and private television stations. The course will equip participants with modern techniques, technologies, and skills for effective and efficient operation and maintenance of digital studio equipment. Also, a special 4-week course on intermediate photojournalism and photography will run simultaneously. It is an essential course for photojournalists, photographers, public relations and information officers to upscale their skills and capacities in photojournalism. Participants will be equipped with modern skills in photo editing, studio and outdoor lighting, and more in just a few weeks. The venue for both courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. Date 16 September to 11th October 2019. Course fee 100,000 naira only per participant. Accommodation inclusive. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Please, did you hear that?
Of course I did. That is village master tune.
So, Auntie Amebo was not gossiping then?
Village master is celebrating 50 years.
50? Already? This is not a joke.
It is a national celebration. NTA and Village Master family are commemorating 50 years.
Hey, please, tell me, when is our golden jubilee?
It is from the 8th to 11th of October 2019.
I have to go and get ready. It's time to party.
Women. But we, men, will be there too.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
It's nice to know you're still watching Nationwide. To effectively respond to fire emergencies across Nigeria, the Federal Fire Service has opened 6 additional zonal centers with the deployment of 20 firefighting trucks. The 6 centers, which are also being equipped with modern firefighting equipment, are to serve the states under their coverage. Doi Dia reports.
The centers are Zone G, H, I, J, K, and L, covering 3 states respectively, an effort aimed at boosting the capacity of the 6 zonal centers that initially existed. With the recent recruitment and deployment of 2,200 firemen and 150 fire truck drivers, the service is assuring Nigerians of prompt emergency response.
We have also received approval for the establishment of additional fire service training schools, which will soon take off. They are located in Maiduguri for Northeast, Calabar for South-South, Ilori for North Central, Katsina for Northwest, and Umuahia for Southeast.
The CG, Leman Ibrahim, says the organization is collaborating with the Standards Organization of Nigeria and other partners to checkmate the influx of substandard products which may put the lives of Nigerians who are the end users at risk. The CG, Leman Ibrahim, later led journalists to inspect the new firefighting trucks and the emergency situation room where distress calls are received and processed. Certainly not a xenophobic attacks, but one of the fire hazards that occur on daily basis. And it is against this backdrop that the Federal Fire Service is bringing together key players to ensure that Nigeria also ups its game in terms of providing Nigerians with fire emergency response across the country.
In Abuja, doing Dia NT News.
Similarly, the Federal Road Safety Corps is introducing the use of alkalizers on all drivers at various parks in the country in order to ensure compliance with the driving rule, which says prevention of drinking while driving. The Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi made this known during the media briefing at his office in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
The period September to December is generally referred to as Ember Month, and typical of this period is high vehicular movement of people traveling to different parts of the country. It is also seen as a time when many road crashes occur. FRSC statistics reveal that crash level has increased by 5%, and this is what the Corps is working hard to reduce. Rolling out strategies to ensure lesser or 0% crashes on the highways, the Federal Road Safety Corps says it will tackle head-on recklessness of commercial drivers by ensuring installation of speed limiting device in their vehicles.
We need to deploy more technology, which the government is funding now. Patrol teams are not authorized to pursue a vehicle, and we've implemented this. If there's an infraction, just take the number of the vehicle with the CUG line, call the administrator, you get the details, you book them, and we send the ticket.
The enforcement of registration of number plates on tricycles and motorcycles as well on the front burner, in which defaulters will be arrested. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The quest to reposition Nigeria's transportation sector is one area the federal government says it will continue to take proactive action on. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi made this known when he received the certificate for the concession of electronic ticket in Abuja. Oyinayaka Luoka reports.
Chaos, touting and ticket racketeering seem to overwhelm stations at the Abuja-Kaduna standard gauge railway line. Passengers flying the route have consistently called for the introduction of electronic ticket to tackle this challenge. As the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, received the certificate of concession for e-ticket, he maintained that government is committed towards providing efficient infrastructural facilities in the country.
But this will go a long way to reduce the madness. The moment we get more coaches plus this, then we'll completely eradicate the current madness that's going on at the different stations.
Besides enhancing passengers' convenience, reducing fraud and cost, the e-ticketing system in the next 10 years is expected to generate about 16 billion naira to the federal government.
We are following the due process to ensure that we get it right, so you don't rush in and rush out.
This is part of the next level agenda of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari to address the huge deficit of infrastructure we have.
Federal government is expected to commence the implementation of the e-ticket for the Abuja-Kaduna train service in the next 3 months. Oyinaya Kaloka, NTA News.
Sokoto is our next port of call and Nura Tanku Wakili is our guide. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Najat, and welcome to Sokoto. Zamfara State Government has begun construction of 3 rural grazing areas, one in each senatorial zone of the state. The ABDULLAHI reports that the grazing areas were part of measures put in place by the state government to ensure sustainable peace across the state once badly hit by banditry. The report.
Activities of bandits and kidnappers had caused serious damage to Zamfara communities, particularly rural settlements. The state is having a sigh of relief as the new government had put in place new measures leading to restoration of peace among communities. Part of activities marking 100 days of the new government in Zamfara state is the flag off of the construction of 3 rural grazing areas for Fulani communities. each of the rural grazing areas will cover 100 hectares of land with capacity to accommodate 210 Fulani families. All the required infrastructures such as houses, veterinary clinic, hospital, schools, mosques, ranches, earth dam, cattle cottage, grazing yard, modern abattoir, and cemeteries would be provided.
The primary issues at stake has always been that of access to grazing land, watering points, and the cattle routes.
Peace is an essential element in the establishment of any meaningful project or execution of any project in any given society.
From Zamfara, ABDULLAHI, NTA News.
The Sultanate Council is to partner with the State NYSC Secretariat to bring together core members that have won the Sultan's Prize from across the Federation for befitting recognition in Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Dati reports that the Sultan dropped the hint when he hosted the Batch B Stream 2 core members at his palace. The report.
It is a tradition of the Sultan to host core members posted to the state to interact and share experiences. Addressing the core members, the Sultan admonished them to always embrace peace, respect their host communities, as well as the norms and culture of the people. He challenged them to share their knowledge and experience to their host communities. Sultan Muhammad Saad said the core members should always report their challenges to the district head of the area they are posted. He urged them to be agents of change, not destruction, stressing the need to shun social media reports that are geared towards bringing unrest among people.
You are our responsibilities now. Forget about where you come from. We're all one. This is your home now. This is your family. In the next 1 year or so. And not here also, because some of you will still get the attention. But one thing, one reason or the other.
State NYC Coordinator Mr. Philip Enaburwe informed the Sultan that the Batch B Stream 2 has 1,160 core members with 658 males and 502 females. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
Responsible parenting and good governance have been described as panacea to security challenges in the country. This was the position of stakeholders at the Islamic Vocation course organized by the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria for 2019 in Kebbi State. The report. The week-long event with the theme Moral Decadence Among Youth and Challenges of Insecurity, the prevailing security challenges and falling moral standard among youth in Nigeria took center stage with a view to finding lasting solution. The idea is to shape the thinking of the participants to be responsible and responsible citizens who will contribute their quota to the nation building, which the stakeholders say is only achievable if other relevant stakeholders play their respective roles.
It is a known fact that a strong linkage between the youth and national integration. The link is not only for mutual benefits, but one depends on other for its sustenance.
Allah says Abraham, as we see him, is a comprehensive nation. Why was he given a comprehensive nation as a title? Because of his full and total submission, obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Some stakeholders, however, underscore the importance of peaceful coexistence and productive youth in combating security challenges. They also advocated for a conducive environment that will guarantee such, occasioned by transparent and accountable leadership. Over 500 participants from tertiary and secondary educational institutions, as well as officials of the society at various levels, attended the program. And also, our contribution from Sokoto is back to Najatu in Abuja for more nationwide.
Thank you, Noura. The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, has applauded the developmental strides of Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State in touching the lives of the citizens positively. This was during his visit to the governor at the Government House in Little Rayfield, Jos. Priscilla Agumna reports.
Director General, who said he was on a working visit to Plateau State, congratulated the governor for his re-election and emergence as the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum. He reiterated the commitment of the NTA to continue to project policies and programs of government as well as the positive image of the state. While thanking the state's chief executive for the maximum support accorded the organization, the DG appealed to him to institute a cognitive presence of the state through a legacy project at the NTA Television College.
Your Excellency, let me state for the record our appreciation of your unrivaled peace-building efforts, which have seen to the near total return of normalcy to Plateau State. These efforts have been acknowledged both nationally and internationally.
Governor Lalong, who described the DG's visit as homecoming, appreciated President Buhari for reappointing him.
To first of all seek for the usual cooperation, more support as you are doing, and also employment opportunities, because today we have taken one, we want to replace them with about 4 or 5 if we have the opportunity in NTA under your watch.
The DG is expected to visit the NTA Television College and the NTA Network Center Jos. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
And now we head to Enugu, where Chinenye is standing by with more reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Naja'atu. Welcome to Enugu. In its efforts towards promotion of all year-round agricultural activities for food sufficiency in the state, Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha has performed the groundbreaking ceremony of Rice Seed Farm Clusters program in Ezinihite, Mbise local government area of the state. Loretta Arize Egwin reports.
Rice is a staple food and no doubt a meal with high demand by individuals regardless of culture, gender and class in the society. Hence, the need to increase its production among other farm produce for domestic consumption and export purposes becomes sacrosanct. Governor Emeka Ihedioha says the rice seed multiplication program aimed at expanding the economy of the state to run through rainy and dry seasons. He advised the people of the area, including the youth, to utilize the opportunity to engage in rice farming.
By what we are doing today, it will become a rice business. We want to increase the space so that Imo can continuously qualify and begin to grow agriculture. We want the of our states.
The Special Assistant to the Governor on Food Value Chain, Chichoke Osiji, as well as some experts in rice production, speak further on the benefits of the program to the people of the area, as well as Imo State at large.
These are the very popular rice varieties released in Nigeria. And looking at the soil type, looking at the environment, we think this rice can do very well for Imo State.
Make farming convenient. You have rice to eat, you have rice to sell, to pay your school fees, you have rice to eat, to take care of your wife or your husband.
From Amumara in Ezinihite Mbise local government area of Imo State, Loretta Arize Egwin, NTA News.
Determined to curb the incessant herders-farmers clash and protect agro-allied investments, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC Ebonyi State Command has inaugurated its special squad named Agro Rangers Unit. Chika Okorie reports that newly promoted officers of the Corps were also decorated.
In recent times, herders-farmers clashes have continued to constitute a major security threat in parts of the country, leaving death, agony, and trauma in its trail. The initiative of the federal government being executed by the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is designed to tackle all issues that fuel crisis between the herders and crop farmers. Ebonyi State Governor David Umahi, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Internal Security and Border Peace, Mr. Ubun Naya Ota, inaugurated the Agro Ranger Squad, stressing that it will strengthen the security arrangements in the state.
The inauguration of the Agro Rangers Squad is in line with the policies and programs of the state government.
This display by the Agro Rangers unit, according to them, is a tip of the iceberg compared to how battle ready they are to combat every security threat that may arise from the activities of herders and farmers within their locality. For them, there is no going issue of securing agro investments and even the lives within their jurisdiction. The 22 newly promoted and decorated officers promise to continue to uphold the mandate of securing lives and critical national assets. In Abakaliki, Chika Okori, NTA News.
And that is it from Enugu. Najatu, it's back to you in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Chinenye. Call him a political icon, outspoken African legend, and one of Africa's longest-serving presidents, Robert Gabriel Mugabe of Zimbabwe had many shades in opinion and political philosophy. As he is passed on, correspondent Hamman Jobani gives us some perspectives about the man, Robert Mugabe.
Hello, veterans! All veterans!
Robert Gabriel Mugabe was born on 21st February 1924. He was the son of a carpenter and a descendant of the majority Shona-speaking people in a country then under the white minority rule. Robert Mugabe was educated at a Catholic mission school where he qualified as a teacher, secured scholarship at Fort Harare University in South Africa. He acquired the first of his 7 academic degrees before teaching in Ghana, where he was greatly influenced by the Pan-Africanist idea of Ghana's post-independent leader, Kwame Nkrumah.
He will go down in history as a great nationalist who fought for his people against the oppression of the white domination and colonialism. For that, it's a lasting legacy left behind.
Over his 3 decades in power, international perception, scored with an increased number of criticism, portrayed him as a dictator. Despite his long stay in power, he enjoyed the support of other African leaders who saw him as a hero of the fight against colonial rule.
There was no doubt about, that he was a patriot, he was a nationalist, he was also a revolutionary. He indeed, one will say that in terms of the practice of decolonization, he will also go into the Hall of Fame of other similar African leaders that made sure that the people were not held in captivity.
He was considered a Pan-Africanist as he supported the seizure of white farmers' land in Zimbabwe without compensation. He was a strong advocate of African patriotism as well as a towing advocate of African nationalism. The climax of his political nosedive was on 19 November 2017, when the ZUNU PF removed him as party leader and issued a deadline of 20th November for Mugabe to resign the presidency, but he did not. On 21st November, he sent a letter of resignation to Zimbabwe's parliament. Consequently, Emerson Mnangagwa was sworn in as president on 24th November 2017.
I would like to see a society based on the principle of non-racialism. In other words, the present system whereby land is divided according to race, the economy is worked according to race, society as a whole is established on the principle of racial blocks. This I would like to see go.
Before his death, Robert Gabriel Mugabe had been receiving treatment at a hospital in Singapore since April. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
On behalf of the federal government, President Muhammadu Buhari sends condolences to the government and people of Zimbabwe over the passing of the founding father and former president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, at the age of 95. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President commiserates with family members, friends and political associates of the political activist who fought for the independence of the country from colonial rule and lived most of his life in public service. President Buhari believes Mugabe's sacrifices, especially in struggling for the political and economic emancipation of his people, will always be remembered by posterity. Sports Update is next.
Nigeria's hope of